Hello.
What's up? Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you.
Thanks. Welcome to Marital Hate. I'm Stacy.
I'm Douglas.
We do not typically hate each other, contrary to the name. It can be confusing. But we see the world through very different perspectives, and sometimes it means that we might squabble a little bit. But you can disagree with someone and still love them. Just something I think people have kind of forgotten in today's world is that, like, love means I don't know. What does love mean? What does love mean to you?
Love.
Think about it for a second.
Yeah.
So it's a live.
Anyway,
it's a live interactive podcast. Well, no, you think while I talk. It's a live interactive podcast for fucked up people. Like, if you're here and you're not a crazy person, you probably shouldn't be here. It's interactive, so like the fun comes from interacting with the podcast, and you'll meet some really cool people. We generally have some pretty awesome folks. And burrowing owls. That, my friends, is a burrowing owl. They're an endangered species.
And he had something to say.
And that's what they sound like when they're eating the neighborhood things. Bunnies.
Imagine how many things we'd have in this. Excuse me.
If you want to be on the podcast, pull up a chair.
Good gravy. Scaring the crap out of me.
That's scary?
No. But it was pretty loud. It was like...
It's like an owl that weighs like...
It's a soda can.
They're owl. Like this big.
Yeah.
They're so little, and now the babies are out. So
they're actually like kind of about. I was trying to think like they were like a jar of pickles, kind of like, or something like they're. I was trying to find
a
like,
jar of pickles definitely weighs more than a burrowing owl.
Maybe one of the big cans of the baked beans. It's about that tall, but not that big around. That alarm means go do the podcast. So we're here every weeknight, or most weeknights, as health and weather permit.
I'm just going to tell the people some stuff about the burrowing owls.
All right.
So I asked, tell me some things about burrowing owls. They gave me 10 things, believe it or not. They often inhabit burrows dug by mammals like prairie dogs, ground squirrels, or even humans, which is hilarious because there's a shitload. So... Tracy's here and she says, Happy Valentine's Day, peeps. I don't know if you can pull that up on the screen.
Happy Valentine's Day to you and your peeps.
Yeah. Happy even to the LGBTQ.
Down there in Dustbuster, Georgia.
Wherever you want to live. So Cape Coral, we are home to these burrowing owls, and they're super cute. But like, you can't go anywhere near these fucking things. And like, if you're building a house and a burrowing owl has moved in, they're like, stop construction. Same thing with gopher tortoises. Somebody can't finish their driveway because they've got eagles. Florida does not mess around when it comes to endangered species, but we also are like our animals, but at the same time, we're constantly spraying chemicals in the air. So that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But here we are. In any case, there's like on our street, I'd say 30 burrowing owl holes, like in our little block.
Yeah, probably in our block. Yeah.
30 easy. Some like there's a lot behind us. There's like 4 of them. So what happens is you if you see an owl, you tell them, they come put a cross out, or they'll dig a little hole, or the owls will dig a little hole, or you dig the hole, and they just show up, and they're not going to leave. So they like to come to the podcast. I don't know if I think that probably the lights might attract things.
Maybe.
I don't know. But
although I did look up what they ate, and I'm sure that's on your thing.
It's all here.
Yeah.
So they're 7 to 10 inches tall. They weigh 4 to 9 ounces.
9 ounces.
Well,
it's like a steak.
Bones are basically hollow.
Like a small steak. Yeah.
And
they gotta fly.
Like, there's like not enough meat on a burrowing owl to be worth the pursuit of eating one.
Yeah.
They have distinctive long legs, short tails, yellow eyes. Their plumage can vary, but they typically have brown and white molted feathers with pale spots. I actually did a painting of a burrowing owl for my pal Dave. I hope it looks close enough. While owls are generally, you can pull one up, known for being nocturnal, burrowing owls are unique, and they're both nocturnal and diurnal. They're often active during the day, especially during breeding season, but they may also hunt at night. What I have been noticing as of recent is that the dads watch out during the day, they watch the nest with the babies, and then they hunt at night. I don't know if the parents are sleeping at all. Having young kids, I don't think I slept for Jesus, at least 4 years, and then it was even worse when they were teenagers.
Well, you had
Probably even now.
kids in a tight succession.
Well, I got a twofer in there.
Man, you got the twofer, so that's like.
But it doesn't. I think any parent can tell you. I mean, you're a parent. That you think it's going to go one way, and it's a very different thing, and it's the hardest, most rewarding job you will ever do. I both don't recommend it and recommend it wholeheartedly. Can't really decide. It just depends.
It's a hard job.
Depends on the day.
It is a hard job. Oh, he's eating something. Oh,
so I don't know if you have that on screen because I can't see my screen right now because I'm reading this. So anyway, they burrow in their burrows, obviously. And it gives them protection from predators and harsh weather conditions. I don't know where the fuck they all went during the hurricane because this entire street was underwater.
It's flooded.
They primarily feed on small mammals such as mice, voles, insects like grasshoppers, beetles, and crickets. They may also consume birds, reptiles, and amphibians. Dude, this is fucking Florida.
Yeah, they'll eat
pretty
much anything.
We were on the phone one day with the attorney, and we're having this I try to ask as many questions in succession as fast as possible because we're paying by the hour. Mm-hmm. And when you're talking to your $400 an hour attorney, mid-sentence, I cut this poor woman off and I'm like, holy shit. There was this massive lizard on our front window and this bird just went but that he got away. We didn't even notice it at the time. And then it came back to, so she's like in the middle of a sentence later, tier 2-4 and what have you. And the lizard's back. And she realized what kind of clients she had on her hands. These are they're really freaking cute.
Yeah, they're really cute.
So they will also eat, grasshoppers, beetles, and crickets. They have a variety of vocalizations, including chirps, whistles, and chuckles. They use vocalizations to communicate between mates, defending territory, and warning of potential threats. So just about every night we get a burrowing owl shows up in our podcast.
Yeah.
Do they think we're a threat? Are they trying to communicate? Are they trying to make their own statement on the podcast? I don't know.
Well, we don't know. Like maybe there's a quiet owl out there that is trying to scare away that we don't hear.
I don't know. Maybe it's being territorial. Maybe it's like, hey, listen, I'm the only one that gets to watch this podcast. It's delightful. And by the way, not that many people watching tonight. So we need the burrowing owl down. Conservation status. So I wasn't really sure if they're endangered or what the deal is. Burrowing owls face threats of habitat loss, pesticide use all over our street, predation, collisions with vehicles. There was one dead on the street a while ago.
One ran out in front of me one day.
Of a species of conservation in many areas. Conservation efforts focus on protecting and restoring the habitat, monitoring populations, and implementing measures to reduce human disturbances. Endearing behavior. Burrowing owls exhibit they're so cute. They're so cute. I would have left them on screen. Burrowing owls exhibit fascinating behaviors, include bobbing their heads, which may serve as a form of communication, territorial display. They're also known for standing on raised mounds near their burrows to survey their surroundings, in earning them the nickname prairie dogs of y'all. I can't talk. Prairie dogs of the owl world. So I don't know. I think that they're cool as shit, and we have a bunch on our street, so that makes me pretty happy. But in Cape Coral, we put these little T's up, not to be confused with the cross.
Looks like Arlington National Cemetery.
Like that kind of cross. It does not really look like. Okay. Mary Marvelous says, I like your hair down, Stacy. Thank you, darling. It's actually in a ponytail.
It's a high
ponytail right on top. It's just that my hair is very, very long. That's the ponytail right there.
She thinks she's Ariana Grande.
There's a shitload of it. And thank you. Tracy says they are cute. You're cute, Tracy. And Daniel is in his house and he says, hey,
what's up, DNV? I don't know why, but apparently Cape Coral is like kind of a hotbed of the burrowing owl. I don't know why. I don't know why we're so special.
Well, we do have a lot of stuff in our community where people are trying to support the burrowing owls, like that lady with the sandals. So
from last night's podcast,
burrowing owls, it is. Tracy says, "No, you're cute. It's a contest.
Get a room."
I totally would. But she's married.
She's a married lady.
So am I.
You're a married lady too.
So we haven't even seen each other all day today. I got up and went to Sanibel.
Well, the Jeep's working.
The Jeep is working. It was nice.
It was like a jailbreak for you.
I went to Ding Darling. I have So normally we go to Ding Darling. What do you see? Maybe like on a busy day,
Yeah.
10 cars
Oh yeah, well, not yeah, probably about 10. Yeah,
on a busy day,
on a busy day.
10 cars.
Yeah.
uh I'm becoming a fucking Floridian who is like, get these goddamn snowbirds the fuck out of here. And I mean the snowbirds, like the people,
The
not
people
the
birds that come down here
snowbirds, that
to
like the
escape the
actual
snow
birds. I mean these
and
fuckers.
seabirds.
So you know, like you come in, and then there's like, there'll be a few cars. So there was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 cars, and there was 2 cars in front of me at the gate. And I was like, is Jim just being chatty? Because Jim at the
That's
gate
crazy.
is usually pretty chatty. Wasn't Jim.
Oh, wasn't
They're
Jim.
just flagging people through.
Oh,
because they're like, okay, there's too many
there's
people.
too many.
So I go to see, and this might have been one of the news stories that we had, but I go to just, I'm looking for just a spot. I wanted to just sit with my journal and my planner and just spend some time in nature and just chill out, load myself with bug spray, and be in nature. And oh my God.
There were so many people. It felt like
in the first section where the water first, like there's a little bit of water, there was like 12 people, like 6 cars.
no anybody fishing, or were they? Sometimes the fishermen gather.
You
up
don't
there.
understand. Then further down,
12 cars.
6 people, 12 cars. Then further down, 6 people, 12. It was bonkers. And there was like 1 person fishing in the entire park. And I was like just driving like my 5 miles an hour, Jeep in first gear. By the way, got a new clutch. It's a little wonky.
Just so you know, the Ding Darling, you drive in, and it's probably about a 5-mile loop or thereabouts.
It's 8. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know how many miles, but it takes you a good while to get through it. But you're going 2 miles an hour. It's a little wider than a single lane road, but it's only one way. So as you go through, it opens up. There's these big lakes and everything. You see fish jumping out of the water. You've seen an alligator. I saw an alligator last time I was there.
I've seen manatee,
spoonbills, manatee. Those big.
This is so weird.
Oh, that thing's taken off. But it's just beautiful. At one point in the middle of the loop, there's an observation tower you can climb up and look around. It's a wonderful place.
So apparently it's named after this from 1945. It was named after J. Norwood Ding Darling, renowned political cartoonist and conservationist. He played a key role in the establishment of the refugee and instrumental in raising of conservation issues. I'm curious as to if J. Norwood Ding Darling was a political cartoonist. Will we know any of his work?
Yeah.
It covers 6,400 acres of mangrove forest, marshes, water habits in the subtropical barrier island of Sanibel. It's situated along the southern Gulf Coast of Florida, providing a critical habitat for a diverse array of wildlife species. So it's $25 a year for a pass, or $10 a day. It's the most beautiful place. You see the coolest stuff. It's just really chill. And it's great for people like me who can't do the hiking because of my stupid fucking disease. I just kind of drive through at like 2 miles an hour. And because I drive a Jeep that doesn't have a top or doors, I kind of feel like I'm part of nature until there's a whole shitload of fucking snowbirds who I hate. It encompasses a variety of ecosystems, including tidal flats, seagrass beds, mangrove swamps, freshwater ponds. These habitats support a rich diversity of flora and fauna, including migratory birds, wading birds, shorebirds, fish, and mammals. The refuge is known for its exceptional opportunities of wildlife and bird watching. Visitors, no, dude, it's no joke. All of these fucking idiots had their binoculars on, and I don't know if the flamingos could have been there. I definitely saw spoonbills. I definitely saw, but I couldn't get away from these people fast enough. There was too many of them. I drove 10 miles an hour in Ding Darling. I normally drive 2 miles an hour in Ding Darling. The speed limit is 20. I couldn't get out of there fast enough. And then, of course, there's a visitor center, which has all these cute, cool-ass wood-carved birds that Jim Sprankle, former pitcher for the LA Dodgers.
For the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Brooklyn Dodgers
old
before
school.
They went to LA. Yeah. And we talked about him before on the podcast. Really interesting guy. And so they have interactive displays. They have interactive programs. They have all kinds of cool conservation stuff. And I think it's mostly volunteer run. Of course, they have our recreational activities. And then, So, but it just doesn't say how long the road is.
It said 4 miles on that photo that I brought up. It said the 4 mile.
Oh, well, there you go. So
Thank
it's 4 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it went. There's too many fucking people, and so I finally said, I'm gonna drive down, get Doug some bubble room cake for Valentine's
Which is
Day,
very nice. Thank you very much.
and then I was starving, and I was gonna go to the Green Flash, which we've never been to.
We've never been to. We drive by it all the time.
But there were too many golf carts in the parking lot, and golf carts equals tourists and fucking snowbirds. And so then I just went to the Bimini Bait Shack to grab some fish tacos. I could
Nice.
only finish 2.
Did you throw anything?
And I never finished
You
my
didn't throw
pull, so I
anything.
did not throw any conch fritters at anyone. So I'm sitting there. I go up to the bar, minding my own business. I wanted to watch the fish. I thought, if I'm going to sit by myself,
All right,
I'm
yeah.
going to
That's
watch
a good
the fish.
idea. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm eating my fish tacos, which I can't finish. I have 2 of them.
Okay. Yeah,
and
yeah.
half the coleslaw.
That's about usual.
That's about it. And so I'm on the corner next to the swings.
Yep.
Right. So that they have this bar. It's a fish tank. It's really cool.
Right. So
And
you're
then up
looking down
high,
into
they
the
have
fish.
live musicians. They even had live musicians today.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, the snowbird
The guy
season.
was okay too, and he wasn't taking a break every 30 seconds like the usual one. And so I'm sitting right next to the swing. So there's these swings at the end of the bar. By the way, you can sit on these swings, but I have watched many people try to get on those swings. Men cannot do it. They don't know how to stick their asses out. The women know. So in any case, I sit next to the swing, figuring no one's going to come sit in the swing. Anybody who's ever been here before knows the swings are not a good look.
Some lady came and sat in the swing.
Nope. This man comes over. Captain Bob.
Captain Bob.
Captain Bob does not have all of his teeth, and he is quite inebriated for 1 o'clock in the
Trying to get on a
afternoon.
swing.
And he's with his friend who is very nice. I can't remember her name. They're just friends. She, her dog, Solomon.
Okay.
Samson. Her dog Samson has cancer. It has a tumor in its neck, and it wasn't chipped.
Samson's strong, by the way.
I don't like that, but she's, I learned about her dog.
Nice people, though.
And then I'm getting there.
Okay.
So she seemed nice enough, but they'd both been drinking quite heavily, and she had errands to run. So she was drunk and going to run errands, and she was telling him that he should not drive. I'm like thinking to myself, I don't think either one of you should drive, probably ever. But here we are. And so I got chatting with Captain Bob, and it was hard to hear over the music, which was probably a good thing because it was slurring a fair amount, and he didn't have all of his teeth. But what I know is that he is quite familiar with Scituate.
Oh, no kidding.
He went to DR for school.
What is DR?
Dighton Rehoboth. He was very familiar. Well, so he went to BCC for undergrad, or started at BCC for undergrad. And I said, I went to BCC for a very brief period of time. And then I went to, I went to Catholic school in Fall River. I went to St. Anne's. So we got chatting about that. We got talking about Berkeley. We talked about but I had a decent chat with the guy, but he's getting more and more blotto as this conversation goes on. So I can only hear portions of what he said, but I do know that he just sailed his boat from the Panhandle down, and he's going to sail somewhere else now. And I am invited to be his first mate. So
all right there, Gilligan.
It's too bad I passed up on that glowing opportunity.
Well,
and then I went and sat on the beach and chatted with my friend Anne for
Nice.
3.5 hours.
Oh, that's crazy.
I am a terrible friend who doesn't reach out, and I hardly ever talk.
And then
to
when
anyone.
you do reach out,
I have not talked to Anne on the phone in at least 6 months.
it's been a while. Yeah.
So it was really nice to hear her. Today was just a rough day for her. I wanted to be supportive of her. And I'm a terrible friend. But if you reach out to me, I'll usually take a call.
Before we get off the
comments.
topic of Sanibel, I wanted to share a picture from the Sanibel Museum and Activity Center. This is a manatee skeleton.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's terrifying.
This makes me think of Tusk.
That is like nightmare. Like,
doesn't that make you think of Tusk?
It makes me think of Tusk. It makes me think of there's a movie that it reminds me of, like
Tusk.
Something.
And the thing that's interesting is how the tail is pointy at the end. It doesn't flare like the tail does. And there's a place where you can go swim with the manatees. They give you pool noodles. I would really like to do it, but
so that thing. Look at that claws. It had like claws, but it doesn't have claws. It doesn't have fingers, right?
Daniel says he's
chilling like a villain.
I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know enough about manatees. They don't really jump out of the water.
No, they don't jump out of the water or anything.
Daniel says he's just chilling like a villain. Have you done anything villainous? Do I need to give you another speech about your relationship choices? Because I will do it live on the internet. Ladies, do you see my friend Daniel? Wonderful guy. He needs to take some time to himself before he gets into another relationship.
Especially on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
He could be out there.
Like, this is a great thing to do on Valentine's Day is just hang out.
Yeah, just watch
having
us.
a good time. So if you know somebody who's single and they're home on Valentine's Day and you feel bad for them,
Yeah.
be like, oh, watch these idiots.
Then you won't feel so bad.
Just text all your friends right now. Come watch these idiots.
Watch these idiots.
And then
Send.
Damn Yankees. Or do you mean the Yankees, the
people,
racial slur, or
the racial slur of people?
New Englanders, or are we talking about the Yankees, the team?
Well,
in either case, I agree. And Daniel says anything north of Birmingham is a Yankee. Yeah. I remember being called a Yankee when I first moved to Florida in 1995. Yeah, I got called a Yankee more than once. And Trace says Crystal River has Groupons to swim with the manatees. They would love to play with your hair.
Ooh.
Dude, everybody loves to play with my hair.
They're munching on it, thinking it's like some sort of.
I'm mildly concerned about that because I don't want it to like get caught in their throat and have to like shave my head or whatever. But my friend doesn't swim.
Your friend.
That would be you.
I can be on a kayak or something.
Well, they give you pool noodles.
Oh. Maybe I'll do that.
Okay, well, let me know because it's one of the many things that I would like to do. I swear to God, I just saw somebody walk through the house. And Daniel says, LOL, I'm with my ex-wife and we're all over each other. Go figure.
It's forbidden fruit, Daniel.
I told you to try to work it out with her.
Yeah.
I told you to. I've been telling you this all along. Now, chickadee check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself.
Don't be playing.
Because, yeah.
She's a good lady.
Yeah. Just work on it. I think that he got describing her.
Yeah.
So I had a feed. We're chatting in the feed, and he shared a picture of his former spouse. It was talking about how hot she was, and she's a smoke show. And but he was telling one of our friends that, and I think maybe having that conversation, maybe like he was like, yeah,
like, you know what, maybe she's not so bad.
But
they just got divorced like 2 weeks ago.
What I'm saying is, I'd like to think that I have some kind of positive impact on the world, and I'm sure that that's not how it went at all. But if you could like be like, yeah, no, Stace, like you definitely had an impact on me, that would make me feel good. If you could lie and say that, I will give you $10. Just send me your Venmo and I'll send you $10. I need to feel good about something, even if I have to pay for it. And Tracy says, well, they play with the boat ropes all the time, so I guess they don't eat them. I don't want them to eat my hair. It's a choking hazard.
Why don't you get about like a beach ball? They could play with that.
You could bring a beach ball for them to play with, but I have beads in my hair, and I don't like a manatee to have.
No. That'd be like.
Could you imagine, like,
you kill the manatee?
The things to be afraid of are like propellers and white ladies with dreadlocks. Like,
in that order.
Warning. Trace says, I would go with you. One of the best experiences in my life. Yeah, let's go. Trace says they don't eat them. Well, that's good to know.
They don't eat the manatees, or they don't eat the ropes?
My hair might look like lettuce. I don't know.
Like sea cabbage or whatever they eat. I don't know what they eat.
They will eat. That's what they feed them in Disney's cabbage.
Yeah.
Daniel says she's awesome, but she just doesn't want to be a wife.
Doesn't want to be your wife, Daniel.
Be honest with yourself. Of a wife. She doesn't want to be married to you. Maybe you don't have to be married. You just have to ask questions and focus. Here's the thing about it. When you're dating, you're putting all this effort in, you're on your best behavior,
you're
right?
Taking showers.
So you had a few girls. By the way, Daniel is like he comes on the podcast and tells everybody this. You've dated more than a few girls, and I'm sure you swallowed those
Careful
girls.
now.
Maybe you swallowed the girls. I don't really know. You gave them love and appreciation and respect and your attention and probably gifts and all the things that you don't do for your wife. So there's a guy who does a book. I can't remember what the book's name was. Can't remember what the guy's name was, but it was this whole thing about how you should treat your wife like she's your mistress. That's how you keep it going. So I maybe treat her like your mistress and not have a mistress. Like just work on your marriage.
When you said that, I instantly thought of like Tony Soprano buying his mistress like a mink coat, and I'm like, well, but if you're in Florida, you have a mistress. What the hell does she need a mink coat for? Like, so what do you buy the warm weather mistress?
Plastic surgery. Okay.
Scrunchy.
I will. I have so many things to say right now. She's
A
awesome.
Jeep.
She doesn't want to be wife. A Jeep. Yeah, you could buy them a Jeep, but my point is that most men don't have the bandwidth to meet the needs of their one wife. How are you going to meet the needs of another woman? Oh, wait, it's not about her needs. It's about your needs. And you're going to go wherever your needs are met because it's about your ego.
And by bandwidth, you mean jizz?
Shiggity check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. I didn't specifically mean jizz, but I do think that you should.
Because you run out. You run out.
Well, I mean, listen, sex is a part of the marriage covenant, and it's an important part of it. And I think, like, I'm of the mind that if you and your partner don't want to have sex anymore, maybe you've become roommates or whatever, if you're not sexual or someone's sexual needs aren't being met, that's something you need to sit down and talk about and presumably negotiate something that works for both of you. Like, how long can you go without having your sexual needs met? That's just not, it's no bueno. Daniel's laughing. Trace said they played with my own hair. She means manatees, not philanders. And Todd says, well, you know that I think you are absolutely amazingly awesome and you don't even have to pay me for that.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, well, you don't want the $10. Right. That's cool.
Give it to somebody who wants it.
But I appreciate you. And I probably should talk to you for 3.5 hours because I don't know the last time we talked. I'm a terrible friend. You know what part of my problem is? My flamingos are all on the way out. Like, I need to order new flamingos. I need to order more flamingos because normally I sit in the pool and talk to Todd. Not right now. Daniel says, I shower her with love and adoration and always have unconditionally. So why would she make an effort to meet my needs?
It's not a negotiation. It's not a fee for service.
So, and then he said 7 years of celibacy was my limit. Yeah, that's a reasonable limit. I would have a conversation. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, in a perfect world, we give unconditional love to our partners, but our partner is never someone that would allow us to go without having our needs met. Like, that they would want to, just do things for you because that's what you do. Like, and it's weird because, like, I know a lot of people, like, watch the podcast and they think that they know what our life is like. And, you get some idea, but, like, Doug's a different person in person than he is on the podcast. This is me, by the way, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The first time you meet me, the last time you meet me, this is me. Doug's, you gotta get to know him a little bit.
I'm still really funny though. I'm funny on the podcast. I'm funny in real life. Most of the time. You're
much funnier in life than you are on the podcast. But what was I saying? I had a huge point. So,
inside
I'll go, like, when I'm watching something if I'm watching TV and I'll be like, oh, Doug would want to watch this, even if he's never heard of it. Doug would be like this. So I don't watch it. If I am, like, going, like, if I get up to get myself something, do you want anything? Not that I get up very often because I don't. Usually that's undone. If I, like, if I see that he's, like, stressed out, I'll be like, we can just have cereal for dinner. Or, like, I just try to come up with little ways to be thoughtful for him all the time. But I do that for, like, literally everybody I know.
Well, that's because you're a good person.
Maybe I'm a good person. Maybe I'm not. It's just how I'm wired. Is I think about other people before myself, to the point where it's kind of a problem. Working on it. I am. I talked to Ann for 3.5 hours today. You think she didn't kick my ass? Of course she did. I considered my option with Captain Tom.
And
Bob. Captain Bob.
Oh.
Captain Bob.
Because you could have just
Maybe
sailed away. I
if
wouldn't have
he
known.
wasn't drunk in the middle of the day and missing teeth, maybe. Did you see I got a little pink today?
Oh, look at you.
That's
Yeah.
even with sunscreen.
Good job.
Daniel says bingo. I still have not gotten over my Gretch White Falcon getting smashed in one of her temper tantrums.
It's not nice, Mrs. Daniel. That's a large.
Is this another unhealthy choice you're making? I don't know. Tell me about your relationship with your mother, Daniel. I have so many questions because it doesn't seem like seriously. You want to come on sometime and tell the whole world about?
Yeah, we can do a Dr. Phil,
and we can Dr. Phil your ass. Like I'll just make up stuff.
I'll wear like a mustache and go like, "How do you think that's going to make any difference?"
I mean, that
was a terrible Dr. Phil, by the way. That was terrible.
Everybody has a pattern, right? Like the consistent thing between all of your partners is you. It's you. And you have to ask yourself why you would pick people that can't meet your needs or would destroy a Gretch White Falcon. What does a Gretch White Falcon go for?
It's about along the lines of a Les Paul, probably 3,700, 4,800 megs, something like that.
Yeah, about 30, $4,000.
39.
Depends what year it is. This one.
Oh, jeez.
This great Gretch White Falcon from.
I'm not doing well with the smashed Gretch White Falcon. Actually, I want a black Falcon because I like black guitars.
He wants to have all black guitars.
But,
so this 1967 Gretsch White Falcon, it's 16,666 down from 19,888.
It's worth every goddamn penny.
$250 to have it shipped, and it's $587 a month if you use Affirm. We have that. We literally have that.
That's why I'm laughing.
It's called Synchrony on our statement. It shows up as Synchrony, but we got 0% financing on those studio speakers. And the deal with the studio speakers was I was going to return them if Doug hadn't finished his album by the end of the return period. I am an enabler. It has now been 9 months since the end of the return period, and I believe he used them once. It was a colossal waste of money.
You weren't home today, so I put on the speakers while I was working.
I tell you all the time to put your speakers on. I've never complained about your music.
No, you never do.
I always encourage you to make music.
Is from what I know, I think you have to go back to at least 67, and Daniel might know this, to get a Gretsch made in USA. I think Gretsch was out of Brooklyn or something originally, and you like none of the new ones. They're all, I believe they're all made in Japan. But yeah, that's quite the guitar.
Daniel says sure. All right, we'll pick a day. I don't like to. Here's my problem. I don't like remote guests.
And we don't want you here. So, Daniel.
No, we do want you here.
We're the daytime.
But I don't like a remote guest. Like, come stay. Come stay. Do you smoke? I don't like cigarette smoke in my house.
Do you smell bad?
Outside.
Do you eat funny?
You can stay in the
eat with your mouth open.
I might snuggle with you. It'll be good. Do you know that people are getting paid $50 an hour to cuddle?
$50 an hour?
To cuddle. So if you cuddled, let's see. It's hard to do. I'm only slightly baked right now.
That's $400 a day. For an 8-hour session of cuddling. It's not bad.
So yeah, I know, but divided by 50. So if you gave 80 cuddles, you could replace your Gretsch because he is the $4,000 one, so not the good one. At least it wasn't the fucking $18,000 one.
At least.
And Daniel says, correct. I don't know what I was correct about, but it's nice to occasionally be affirmed that I have some value to add to the world.
It might have been correct about my Gretsch being from Brooklyn, but they're now made in Japan.
You can also get yourself a, what do you call it?
What?
The Chibson?
The Chibson. You get yourself a Chibson, Daniel. They're not going to steer you wrong. Apparently, you can write to these people. You can put a Strat neck on a Les Paul. Well, they'll make anything for you. It's messed up. People are making some pretty cool stuff. And since you can converse with them, you can say, all right, do this, don't do that, et cetera, et cetera. And people are getting some really, like when I got mine, it was like you just sort of ordered what they had, but now you can but I will tell you this, Daniel, I got that guitar and it's not half bad. It's a good axe.
So you have a real one and a fake one.
I have a real one and a fake one.
What's the difference?
Well, the real one's like a Ferrari, and the fake one's like a Corvette.
Okay, so you pick up Like, what do they feel? Does
You pick them up, they're the same weight.
The one that I got you doesn't weigh more? I thought it did.
No, they weigh about the same. And that was the impressive thing about the thing. And sometimes with the Gibson, they'll actually take some wood out of the middle to make them lighter, especially with the Les Pauls. But those are like, I guess
a heavy guitar.
And yeah, and I guess like some people, some of the guitar players and stuff, they have back problems now that we're playing them in the.
Well, and you don't usually play with you do.
Well, when I play live, yeah. I usually stand up to play. I don't usually sit down. Like if I'm recording, I'll sit down.
A strap to hold the guitar in place.
Yeah. But a lot of them will have back problems because that guitar is so heavy, and some of them have hip problems because it's on their hip.
You actually, when you play, you have a tendency to lean back. Have you ever noticed that about yourself?
Maybe I was just getting the spirit of.
Well,
Jimmy
you also do this hunchback thing. So Daniel says yes, Doug. Daniel, fuck off. Enough. Yeah. Everybody's always agreeing with Doug. Oh, poor Doug. Yeah,
But no, he just said yes about something.
Just don't even say yes to him.
All right. Say yes to the dress. No chips. All right.
I
so I'm just telling you.
I just want you to get a Gibson.
I got that Les Paul, and I opened it up, and I put Gibson pickups in it. And the only thing I wasn't real psyched about was the truss rod cover was kind of like wonky. So I put a real truss rod cover in there, and I should do the pots and all that stuff. But it sounds great. It plays great. It's definitely as good as an Epiphone because I think it came off the Epiphone line. What they do is just slam the right headstocks on them and stuff like that.
But you actually switched some things out.
I switched some things out.
You put the Gretsch.
I put the Gibson pickups that because I got a specific model of Les Paul and I found out what pickups were in there. I bought some off of eBay, soldered them in, and then I think I swapped the knobs too because it came with regular speed knobs and I wanted the 1974 top hat knobs or whatever.
I think there's a lot of people that would like to swap their knobs out. Oh. Actually, I
like my knob.
So this is a story I heard today.
From your drunk people?
No. I don't want to say who told me because
all right. Like, nobody said anything.
I don't want it to possibly be tied back to these people. It's fine. It's just, but it's
mystery people.
The person that told me this doesn't watch the podcast. I don't think she's going to give a shit because I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to say who told me, and it's completely irrelevant. But I thought it was interesting. So she's one of her friends is moving away. So they have a group of friends, and one person is older, like 70s. One person's mid 70s, late 40s, 21. It's a group of 3 women.
Wow.
And so
it's quite the range.
By the way, as I'm telling this story, New Chibsons looks like some sort of a racial slur. I'm going to pull that down in case anybody gets confused. Like if somebody gets lost and wanders upon this podcast, I don't want them to think we're dropping racial slurs. I already said that I hate Yankees and I want them all to go home. And I'm from Boston or Massachusetts. Not really Boston. Nobody's well, people are. But like people don't know other places. Like I say between Cape Cod and Boston. But I'm really not from there. I'm from everywhere. So anyway, Daniel says your rest right arms on the guitar, which adds extreme pressure to the C7 vertebrae where the strap is. It's very painful.
If you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen.
This podcast already has a chiropractor. Vitamin C Chiropractic serving the greater
Daniel, stick your
Daytona to St. Augustine to Orlando triangle. And by the way, if you're looking for a deal on your supplements, you don't have to be local. Just reach out to Vitamin C Mobile Chiropractic and they'll help you out. Just happens to be one of my closest friends. And not the friend that told me the story.
No, I get back to the story. It's a good story.
So they're at the table.
So there's 70, 40, and 20.
Why do you think it's a good story? You haven't heard it.
No, I'm up for a good story. It sounded controversial. It's
going to be anticlimactic.
So 70, 40, 20.
21. So the late 40s woman is like basically like she's like a pygmisha. So there's this. Okay, I'm going off. If you guys don't know, there's this chick. Everybody calls her the sparkle lady, and she's terrible. I'll loop back to that in a minute. But on her podcast, when she's talking about like a desperate woman, she calls him a pygmisha, like a pick-me.
Oh, okay,
a pygmisha.
All right,
pygmisha. So one of them's a pygmisha, 49 years old, late 40s, whatever it is. And she's just constantly like throwing herself at various guys. And she got super drunk while at their little dinner.
Oh.
And
the 40-year-old.
Late 40s, yeah.
Okay.
And
40s.
She's like dancing, like there's this loud table of guys next to her, and she starts dancing, and then they're not like paying attention to her. So she gets all bent out of shape. And then she's telling the 21-year-old that by the way, this woman it's actually really funny. this woman, this 49-year-old, is now moving to Florida to be with some guy that she's known for 2 months.
Okay.
And to live with him, and he has a kid, and she's gonna live there. And yeah, but of course she told two different stories.
I got no comment for that because I actually have a really good comment, but I need to save it for after this.
So I have like 3 comments here. The first one is
Daniel says, pick Misha my number.
You've spent enough time with Pick Misha. Settle down. Work on yourself. Okay. That's a t-shirt we need to sell.
What, work on yourself?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Well, he was 7 years celibate. He was working on himself that whole time.
That's not exactly what I meant. But Daniel says my father was a chiropractor. That means he's got family money.
Yeah, that's how.
Maybe you should give me a call.
That's how we can afford to be a musician.
I'll be Pick Misha for the right amount of money.
She'll pick whatever you got for the right money.
Buy
her a Jeep.
I do enjoy a Jeep. I would like to live in an RV and travel. I would like some sex probably once or twice a day. I don't want to do any cooking. Actually, I would love to do cooking. I would love to be healthy enough, but I can't do cooking or cleaning, and I can't have a job. So I'm an expensive pet, but I'm friendly.
She's precluded from having a job by the government.
I don't really pick. I do bring in a massive sum.
Oh, you do bring
of $1,400 a month. It's like $1,473 or something. Daniel says the work will go faster if she helps. I'm not sure what we're talking about, but okay. Yeah, sure.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Probably his penis.
All right, so a 49-year-old wants to move down here with.
So she is. So this was like they're having a dinner because she's moving out of town, and maybe she figured that somebody else was picking up the bar tab, so she had a little bit too much to drink. Maybe she's just a drunk. Maybe she found other people to be annoying or whatever, so she started drinking.
She was dancing
because
and
the people
drinking.
at the next table were supposedly really loud. I wasn't there for any of this, so this is just my summation of it.
It's hearsay.
But so and you guys know, I love dick. I just fucking love cocks. I found Doug. He had the perfect one. Married him because of his dick. A lot of reasons to not be married to this man. A lot of awful qualities that you would find to be unbearable and very difficult to live with. I find them to be unbearable and very difficult.
Kind, generous. Creative.
I have video footage to the contrary. And also, you sent away the neighborhood children who asked for a drink of water.
Look, there's water at other places. There's water that comes out of the side of the house.
This is so weird.
Daniel's coming in different ways.
Working on myself. Okay, so your icon is different here. I don't know if you can see it. Weird. Oh, no, it's fine. It's just weird. It's just registering funny there. It's just on our end. Working on yourself. Yeah, spanking the monkey. Don't neglect the balls.
Spanky.
Lick the tip a little bit. You know, if you're flexible, you can do that. Is a nip tuck.
Doug is my hero, she says.
And every 12-year-old boy in America. And if you haven't tried it, you should try it and let us know. I know 3 people that have succeeded. And I'll have to call. I have a friend who I'll have to ask him if he did it. And Daniel says Doug is my hero. Shut the fuck up, Daniel. Now, of course, everybody.
Don't treat my buddy Daniel like that.
Doug is so wonderful. So anyway, yes, your dick has saved you from many a situation because I love dick and you happen to have.
It's got me into some situations. It's got me out of some situations.
It's gotten into my situations quite a bit. Not as much as I might like, but quite a bit. So you have this perfect cock. It's lovely. And it has gotten you out of a lot of trouble. Back to the story.
Okay, back to the story. She's moving down.
So, but mind you, again, married to you. There have been many challenges along the way.
Yes.
In fact, daily challenges.
Daily challenges.
Today was a challenging day for me. Yesterday was a challenging day for me. Most of last week, it's been very challenging as of recent, right? And but historically, your dick has saved the day. It has saved the day.
Here I come.
By the way, we may have to sit down and have a talk if you can't get your shit together, because I'm not letting you use your dick to get yourself out of this one. It's just it's a whole thing. You'll probably, if you've watched episodes, you'll realize that Doug is slowly driving me
I'm a
insane.
lunatic.
Insane. And it's not great.
And it's getting worse as I get older.
For a woman who is suicidal to be dealing with that. So, back to my story. I am not going to let you use your dick to get out of this skirmish, even though it is the perfect cock. So keep that fucking thing away from me. But the problem is, I am not Daniel. I am not waiting 7 years. We're going to have a conversation in the near future, and Mama may have to go to the villages or see if Captain Bob has maybe like a
my boat, lady.
Like a nice dog or something.
I like your hair.
That's not my point. The point of the story is the older woman is now just fucking going berserk about how important it is to get a good dick, and it's the most important thing you need to get in a man, and it needs to be rock hard, and it needs to be this big. And this guy was, and my friend, she was talking about some guy being really small, and she's telling the story in graphic details, and my friend is like, can we talk about anything else? And she just kept going.
The 70-year-old was talking about it?
The 70-year-old is the oldest person. The person that was talking about it was the 49-year-old. And the 21-year-old was probably laughing her fucking head off, because I would be knowing knowing the characters in this situation. And like I said, I only know one of them, but knowing the characters in this situation, the way I see it, I would have died laughing. Just seeing my friend's face, hilarious.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Seeing the 21-year-old's face. And I like a good drunk hot mess. It astounds me. Like, listen, if you're drinking a cocktail while you enjoy, like, maybe that's your like nightcap to yourself. You're like, hey, I'm gonna have a little cocktail as I watch Marital. Hey, maybe a little glass of red wine. I would love some fucking red wine. I might even get myself some. Maybe I'll have a little prosecco tonight. But it's fine to do it occasionally. But these people, but like when I drink, I might feel like okay in the moment. But I'm always going to be tired. I don't get anything else done that day. My stomach's all jacked up the next day. Like, I don't love it. I just don't love it. And it costs a lot of fucking money. And people, like, some people can't be social or be human beings with alcohol. And it's like,
some people can't be social without it. That's.
Yeah. And I get it. Like, people need like the liquid courage or whatever. But like, maybe you just need to find people that like make you feel like you're loved and accepted for who you are, and you don't have to worry. Like, you can just, and it's funny because one of the girls who does my hair, super nice lady, or has done my hair in the past. Sorry. She was telling me about how like she's like a shelter dog basically around new people. And like, well, she was describing, I said, oh, you're like a shelter dog. So she's like she'll find somebody she likes and she'll kind of hang out with them, and she likes to be in the room, but she doesn't want to be like sitting on everybody's lap. Yeah. And which is a good thing, because you know she's trying to get pregnant now, and sitting on everybody's lap, you won't know who the father is.
Won't know.
But I can understand that for people, but I think that's where like people like you and I who can draw people out of their shells or make people feel comfortable. Like I always look for like the person at the party that's like not like part of like the fold, or that's new there or whatever.
Because they're usually the most interesting, I think.
I mean, I think that's probably true to some extent, but I think about if I'm at a party and I don't know anybody, I wish somebody would come say hi to me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But you know, I think, I don't know. We possess that. Although it's funny, like sometimes I want to be able to walk in a room and have nobody notice me, but I just can't. Like, it's the weirdest thing.
But you look like every man, right? Like you've got like, I mean, you're a very handsome man, but like you're, you know, an older gentleman. I'm an older, blue eyes,
distinguished,
gray hair,
average looking.
I think you dress better than most men your age.
Well, maybe.
I mean, except for the fact that you wear the whoopee every day.
I wear this every day.
But like you wear like cool t-shirts, you have cute shorts. Like you're an attractive, you're a good dresser. Your hookahs are a little silly.
The hookahs are.
I thought you were going to paint your Adidas thing on.
Oh, I was going to. Yeah, I got to do that. Yeah. I can do that. This is my little expression of artistry.
I'll just get the patches and sew it on like I did the Buffalo Bills logo. Okay, what was
you were talking about? So the lady's talking about dicks and gotta have a dick.
So she was just adamant that she needed. So I wish I was there to see it.
Yeah.
But I think you know, it's important to know that you know you need to think about what you want in a partner, or not have one. By the way, ironically, as I'm having, you know, it's Valentine's Day, the person I'm having this conversation with is a widow. and 15 years, and she's the nicest person. She's just so sweet. And I was like, so apparently her I don't know, I might get in trouble. She doesn't listen to the podcast, and neither do her kids. And I'm not going to say any names. So she apparently the maintenance guy in the building, this black guy from New Orleans,
Booker,
don't know his name, has a huge crush on her. She's
Booker.
older
What
than
are you
he
doing,
is
Bookman?
by about a kid.
That's who I meant, Bookman, not Booker.
I don't know what
Bookman.
you're talking about.
He
I don't
was,
know if any
he
of
was
those
the
people
super on
do.
Good Times.
Okay, so
Schneider.
he's one of the people, because it's like this high rise thing. He goes to her house, and she has these like recipes and photos on the wall, and there was this whole thing. She had to move into a temporary apartment in the building and then move into her real apartment because her real apartment wasn't ready. This poor woman, she's been through so much.
She's like a nomad.
So life goals. So so she's got these pictures on the wall, these recipes with the photographs. And I guess this man, his family had done that when he was growing up, and his grandmother had always done that. And he said, she made like this. And he had an accent, but I'm not doing it right because he's from Louisiana. Like, I don't even know how to fake that.
Chomp.
So anyway, he was taking pictures of it. He asked if he could, but I'm sure, because she would have like flipped out. So he took pictures and sent it to his family. So she's moving to the new place, and she takes 2 of them and puts it and gives it to him.
Oh, that's
and
really
he
nice.
cried. And so everybody in the building,
knows about the romance.
Like, that's your boyfriend.
Oh,
he loves you. And like,
Bubble Butt is the boyfriend.
Seems so sweet, but she is not interested in having a relationship. She's happy by herself. She goes out and makes friends wherever she goes. And by the way, that is such an amazing. I mean, she made friends with us at Mel's one day. It's such an amazing quality to have, is to have that kind of charisma where you can engage anyone. And I mean, I can to some extent. I always get the crazies.
Well, you do open yourself up to that. Some of them are crazy
and some are not, but most of them are like honestly, you know those shows like Medium?
Yeah.
Where like they're like, oh, I can sense, or like Long Island Medium, with like the lady with the big hair, and they can sense.
Yeah.
Like they can sense things about people, and they do like the flashback of what like the person's experiencing, and they're like, how did you know that, or whatever. That could be me in like the store, because I go in the store,
right,
and a total stranger, like you could do a show.
It's the
I go to a store, and a total stranger will tell me their life story. I've been in line for a bagel.
Oh yeah,
and had a man tell me about his child abuse and his estrangement from his family and his abusive father, and moving to Florida from New York, and his beautiful baby who will never see their grandparents, and working on forgiving his dad through therapy. So that was good. A woman in Walmart told me about how she was molested by her brother as a child, but then she now she only likes guys who are 20 to 30 years younger than her. And she needs to find a new trailer to live in. And I kept trying. That was a 2-hour conversation. I was about to faint in the middle of Walmart. But she's a lovely, lovely lady. Let's see. The lady, you weren't there that day. Me and Zach went for it's actually really funny. So y'all haven't met Zach yet, but you have to. He's amazing. So Zach is like he's like very stoic. Like when you first meet him, he's super serious and he's very proper, and he stands up tall anyway, but he's like, and he's just kind of like observing and deciding. He's judging you is really what he's doing. Zach is judging you. And I should tell him we talked about it on the podcast.
I actually have a video I can share with the group, but I found Zach on the internet today. I have to send it to you guys.
I'm pod right now. I'm texting Zach that I'm talking to him about him on the pod right now, but he's teaching right now, so I don't know if he's gonna get this. So anyway, Zach like is so stoic. Like he'll just be sitting there like judging you, and you don't like. He seems like nice enough or whatever, and he's very polite, and he'll say, "It was nice to meet you," or he'll smile and shake your hand. He'll be super polite. but standoffish at first. And the more you get to know the kid, he's not a kid. He's a grown-ass man. He's 22 now, 22 and a half.
Yeah.
He's a grown-ass man, but he is just like... I don't know how that has anything to do with Zach, but I see it. I see it. Do you see it right there? Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay.
And that's not even the one I was going to bring up. But
so
anyway.
So he's just like, and then you get to know him, and he's just hilarious and like super goofy and just like a chaotic little mess who leaves oil handprints all over your freaking house. Like that kid, we made him too comfortable.
Maybe.
To the point where we're moving and our landlord's like, hey, can we get Zach's number in case anything goes wrong with our house?
Yeah. And actually there was a conversation at one point, I think.
We love him. He's the best. So anyway, the point is that judgment. Some people are judgy. And I'm not like that. And because of that, people tell me they're short. So Zach and I were, it was St. Patrick's Day at the 99. You were
right. Yeah.
And this woman, before she even gives me
this is like
water, asks us if we want water or anything. She's like, my kid is being investigated by DCF. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, do you want something to drink? And I'm like, do you make your iced tea or is it in the gun? Which is what I say every time. And
I had to buy a gun to protect myself from
hang on.
my ex-wife. I'm like,
so iced tea, or I think water. She was like, let me get you some water. And then she comes back and she's telling me about how, again, I haven't even like ordered. And she's telling me about how her baby daddy died. Killed himself 2 months ago.
With the gun.
And her other kid just got expelled from school. And then we had our corned beef, and she's going to NA. I'm really proud of her. She's sober, and she's no longer self-harming. And I was really excited.
She's going to stay in our guest room in a couple weeks.
Well, that would happen. So Zach's just sitting there and like in the Zach way. So he's just like, he does that thing, and and he's just sitting there, and he's sitting there. The minute she walks away, he goes, every time. And then she comes back, and the same thing. He walks away. He goes, next time she's going to tell you about her pap smear. How do you find these people?
It is messed up.
She leaves again. She comes back again because Zach needed mustard or vinegar or something. And he goes, after she leaves, he goes, she's coming to Thanksgiving, isn't she? That's always the line.
Wouldn't surprise us.
Everybody always says she's coming to Thanksgiving, isn't she? I haven't cooked Thanksgiving in 2 years.
Not in a while,
but maybe I will.
Could be. We could have a Florida fest. Tracy thinks it's a cancer trait that people spill your guts to you. It happens to Becky all the time. Yeah, it's messed up.
I think the ridiculous hair, like you were saying, how you would like to go in places and not be recognized.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I am invisible when I go out with you.
But like,
because people like look at you.
Like it was before I had my hair. It was because I was hot.
Well, you're hot now. You're hot you're just walking around.
Okay, but like when you and I met, I was wearing 5-inch heels. I had double D's, a tiny waist.
You didn't need all that.
And a big ass.
Yeah.
Right. So people, but people were. I was getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But I would even get it like just in like, hanging out clothes
in general. Yeah.
And now I think like the hair gets me a lot of attention. But shout out to the hostess at Bimini Beach Chat who liked my hair today. She's like, I like it.
Last time I went there, I told the girl this is my first time at a restaurant,
my hair.
And to tell me how this works.
Tell you how what works.
The restaurant thing. What happens here? Do you walk me to a table, or do I just go find a table? And then wave to you?
Yeah, he's hilarious when he gets into these little characters. Daniel says some of us guys are useless except for our dicks and tongue.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's a cancer trait.
Tracy said it's a cancer trait. People spill their guts. I think that the cancer of it all, and then like I am genuinely like interested in people's stories, and I'll ask, like normal people would be like, wow, I'm really sorry to hear that. Bye. And I'm like, tell me more about that. Like I'm grabbing their hand. I'm like, tell me more about that. And did you ever tell anyone that you were molested by your grandfather? Was it your mother's father?
You had people calling you from many past lives, you might not remember me, but I was so and so, so and so.
I don't remember that one.
I'll tell you that. I don't want to tell it on air, but yeah. So, but explain to me this.
Actually, there's been about 10 of those that I can think of. Right,
exactly.
like as you say that, I'm like,
yeah. Well, which one are you talking about?
Was it this
All right.
one? Was it that one?
But the funny one, like I can understand people like thinking, you know, like
need, by the way, if you have a problem, I'll solve it. I'm not great. Like obviously,
and we're not going to talk about you in a future podcast. No, that's not going to.
We probably will, but we won't say your name. But here's the unless you tell me not to tell anybody. I had somebody tell me something today I'm not allowed to talk about, and it's not even like personal. It's about the town that they live in. So, but I was saying that we genuinely care, and I ask them questions and like hold their hand and whatnot. And
you're a caring person.
Well, I genuinely care. And like, I know that there have been a lot of times in my life where I haven't felt like anybody was there for me. So, you know, if you need somebody, just PM me. You can hit the page, or you can email us, maritalhate@gmail.com. Doug doesn't even have access to it.
Yeah, it'll be all private. Send the dick pics.
Although, I would tell you, like, you could message Doug, but he'd tell you to fuck off because he's not nice.
I'm basically nice.
But even your own kid, you're like, here, can you take care of this, please? Because you don't know how.
No, I know how. Leave me alone.
You're a boy. I don't think you're supposed to know how.
Well, but the other thing that
yes, you should. But
so getting on the when people tell you everything, I can see where people would want to tell you, like you're a comfortable person, like you're very, very caring, whatever. I can't explain the waiter in the Florida Keys. I can't explain
the QAnon guy. He was hilarious.
No, he was fine, but like he was, but like I can't explain how do we, of all people, get a waiter that starts spouting like conspiracy and this, that, and
I think people take one look at me and they know that I'm not like part of the system.
But if I saw somebody like you, right?
But people think that it was funny because I've asked people who have met Doug and I guess I would be considered a libertarian, if anything. Doug is a Democrat.
I consider myself a liberal.
And so I tell people all the time, like, we're completely opposite politics. One of us is this and one of us is that. And every time they think I'm the liberal. And it's so funny because you're an old white man.
I'm an old white man. I have progressive ideas.
I don't know why he's such a big fan of an organization that hates him, but whatever. Whatever. Old white man.
I'm sure that like that nice couple that got the nice window seat, because when we were down at Key West, we got like
oh my god, it happened like
we got the seat near the door, then we got the seat near the kitchen, then we got and we don't give a shit, right? Like it's not contingent upon.
But by the way, we're gonna give you a better tip than anybody else in this restaurant,
and
just so you know.
So like this old white couple got the balcony seat. That was a nice table, the one that was out the balcony. It wasn't a balcony, but it was like there was a window, there's a table inside, then there was a window, and then they were out on the porch, and that was a good table, so we could see them through the window. And I bet they didn't get QAnon. I bet they didn't get talked to about QAnon.
No, but I love that people feel like they can open their hearts, their hearts and their stories to me. And I you know, like a lot of these people, and it's funny because YouTube is so we like, I'm very comfortable with Facebook, so our Facebook, like, it picks up, you know, there's some issues with the podcast that are kind of ongoing, and I don't know how we're going to resolve. One of the issues is if I don't feel good, we can't do the podcast for several nights. If we're like not able to deal with each other for whatever reason, or if Doug has to work late or whatever it is, there's times when we can't do the podcast. Most of the time it's because of my health. When I do the social stuff of the podcast, it picks up more. And we were making a lot of progress. But if I haven't been feeling up to it, I don't get as much done. So and I've been in like a vegetative state for like the last, not quite vegetative. What was the word?
It's been rough. What
was the word?
Lethargic.
Lethargic. Yeah. I've been in a lethargic state. So, so we don't always post this consistently, but the YouTube channel, which has 61 followers, most of those people are total strangers, with a few exceptions. I know Anne has an account on there, and Charlie has an account there. But of those are 61, most of them are people that we've met in our travels, and they've come to follow the podcast.
Yeah, and we want to get those card sticker things and then we can, when we meet somebody, we're like, here you go.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
we
they
have
have
the
to
card
remember us.
sticker things, and I want to put the card sticker things on the ducks for the Jeeps. I ducked a Jeep today. Just
all right. So speaking of Jeeps, I want to show you this. That I thought this was. I have to send this to Zach because even the kid looks like Zach.
Oh, I thought that was Mike Laporto. That's funny.
All right. So this kid kind of looks like Zach. So hopefully you guys can hear this because it's about his new Jeep that he just bought.
Yeah, this shit's pretty cool. Oh, how we doing?
This Jeep Wave.
Oh, no one. How we doing? Oh, shit. There we go. Got it down now.
2 weeks in.
Finally got the top off. This is pretty freaking cool. Hope it doesn't rain. That would really suck. Finally got the doors off. This is pretty freaking badass. I can stick my foot out the door. It's pretty fucking cool right there. Damn, I feel like a badass. Yeah, so this thing fucking sucks. Getting 13 miles a gallon. Can't go more than 60 miles an hour. I gotta fucking put 2 hands on the wheel because I'm fucking shaking all over the road. Jesus Christ.
I don't know why,
It's
but
actually so much worse than that. Trace says we can hear. Thank you, Trace. I appreciate that.
because Zach just got a Jeep, and he kind of went through all those stages. I think with the ducking and the waving.
Hang on. The first thing was he, not long after he bought it, he backed it into a tree.
Oh wait! Zach says it's not him. I thought it was you, Zach. I don't know. Taking the doors off. I don't know.
No, I think. Well, he knew what he was getting into because he'd driven my Jeep, and his Jeep.
But if there was a guy to play. Zach.
No, I thought it was Laporto at first. I thought it was just a video you had in your phone.
But look, all right.
I assumed it was Zach judging Mike.
Oh yeah.
Because remember when Mike was driving? Oh my God, what was I thinking?
Look, all right, look at that. Hat on backwards, the Carhartt hoodie. Probably smells like dryers.
Reminds me of Mike Laporto.
It's Zach Laporto, is what
Zach
it is.
no longer smells like dryer sheets.
It's a red Jeep.
Zach no longer smells like dryer sheets.
Well,
he smells like man. And oil and PB Blaster.
I don't know how you smell like a man. You've been rubbing up on a man.
Yeah, he rubs up on men all day in like crawl spaces.
And water heaters. And
cannot make the awful joke that I was about to make because now he's like a real person.
Yeah, we can't.
In the world.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah.
I haven't outed that one teacher who gave you a lap dance on your 21st birthday. So.
Yeah, we track her down. In
Zach was, by the way,
Florida school system.
I literally posted that on TikTok about the time that I watched my friend get molested by a 5th grade teacher.
It's good work if you can get it. Basically,
I don't think you're supposed to say that, but I could be wrong. Jesus, 908.
It's 908. We haven't we got to on our
stories. So the Jeep, we didn't. So the Jeep, the new clutch. I'm not sure. Jury's still out.
Takes some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to it. First is it's a little weird. Reverse, you just put it in reverse and it's like
because the old one, I don't know if it was a clutch, but I think because even since we got that Jeep, even the old clutch, it was like every once in a while you'd have a hard time getting it into reverse.
This is totally different.
Look at that.
It's like chunky versus creamy peanut butter.
Nice. I like the creamy.
I think it was creamier before.
Well, it'll wear in. It'll wear in. It'll get to know you.
But it feels like spongy almost when you shift, and we got new rattling noises. I can ask Tony about these rattling noises. But anyway, I actually gave Tony's number to somebody today. Well, I sent his Facebook. Tony, can you make sure I have your number so I can give it to people?
I have his number. Is Mr. Tony Kawasaki.
What is the?
He's Japanese now.
Tony Kawasaki. That's actually hilarious. That's how he should market himself.
Well, yeah, it's funny.
Tony Kawasaki.
Wait, Tony, were you trying to call me?
Hang on.
Tony Kawasaki.
Tony, we love you. I hope you're watching this. Why don't we?
If he's watching this on Valentine's Day night, he's probably got some.
No bueno.
Our check didn't clear. You couldn't buy dinner.
That's English for no bueno.
What did I say?
No, I said no bueno.
Well, when he got here the other morning, I said, Buenas noches, Antonio. I'm like, that's not correct.
Wait, did you just tell him good nachos?
Bueno nachos. It means a lot of nachos.
Is that what it meant?
No, it doesn't. Buenas noches is good evening, right?
Tony to teach me a word every time he comes. I'm hoping. Here's my thing.
It might be Buenos Nine.
You guys have heard us talk about Tony. We love Tony. Super nice guy, does a lot for his community, actively involved in his church. We just found out he does these service trips. like actively involved with the youth of the church, plus his own kids, like a shitload of them. It's just a family guy,
nephews
constantly picking
and
his mom
stuff.
up from the airport. He's just the nicest guy. Like, you gotta love him. I love having Tony come and fix the Jeep. Like, sometimes we got to chase him because he's busy or whatever. And like this week,
he's in demand. He's all over the place.
He's very busy.
He's around the whole state.
Like, it's, you know, it's but he's because the projects he's done for us have been major projects. It wasn't like he came here, like the day he came to do brakes and oil changes, he was gone within an hour on two cars.
Yeah.
2 cars, brakes, oil changes, plug a tire,
go buy me a battery,
swap out a battery, and put the battery in, and they were here like an hour and a half.
It's all good. Oh, look at this little Valentine's Day gift for my son Nolan. Look at that.
Hey Nolan, what's
a little present.
On? Nolan says hi. He says it in that adorable, stereotypically gay way that he says things. He's so cute.
I realized today I was listening to my album on the speakers for the kind of the first time of all the mixes.
Yeah.
And I've hidden things in the album, and I hid something for Nolan, I hid something for Wes, and there's a bunch of stuff that's
so you haven't told them? Are you ever going to tell them?
No, yeah, I can tell them, but
don't tell them. You got to make them figure it out.
Yeah. No.
Then you'll know if you listen to it.
Well, it's not so much. It's like, yeah, I think Nolan could figure his out. But Wes is.
What do you think? Wes is stupid.
No. Wes is in a line of song. Actually, I think I've told Wes about it. So, before I think I've even mentioned it on this call.
Tracy says, "Hi, Nolan." So. Yeah, Nolan is watching from YouTube. We have met Nolan in person.
I met him. Yeah,
you met him before.
I met him when I met him when he was born.
Where I met him about 8 years. After, I must have met him about 8 years after.
Yeah,
I had absolutely nothing to do with that entire process. But I get to be friends with him now, which is really awesome. That's kind of like being a step parent.
You wouldn't have liked him like when he was born.
It's actually interesting.
He's cried a lot.
No, I love babies. I love babies. Oh my God, I love babies. I will say this. Although when it comes to bottles, because I did all the breastfeeding, I'm like, how do you work this thing? Like, what do you do?
You got to heat it up.
Like, I got titties. You want a titty? I'll give you a titty. But a bottle, I don't get it. But listen, I know a lot of women that aren't nursing their baby. They just pump the milk and then they put it in the bottles and they give the baby.
That seems like an unnecessary step.
Because they have like sensory issues or whatever. I can't. I don't even know.
Maybe they're shy.
Maybe. I just had a flash of something in my life that just came up. Yeah.
It's that ayahuasca stuff. It just keeps bringing back some memories.
I haven't had any ayahuasca today. Thank you. I think I was talking about Nolan as a baby.
Yeah. Oh, and then breast milk and titties.
Yeah. So I would have been like really good with him. I'm great with babies and little kids. And, like, they all love me. And everybody, people either love me or hate me, and babies usually love me.
I was good until I left him on the roof of the car.
Did you actually do that?
No, I'm kidding. That was terrible. I would never do that. But I think about people leaving coffee or their mug on top.
But I was thinking about something that's really interesting. My relationship with Nolan is very similar to my relationship with Zach. Because I'm not either of their parent, but I'm older than both of them.
Yeah.
But I don't have to be responsible, like, for them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, like, obviously I do just because I'm old and I'm a mom and I can't help myself and I'm pushy and overbearing and all of those things.
Pushy.
But by and large, it's a relationship where I'm friends with somebody who's kind of my peer, because I think like a 12-year-old and a 12-year-old boy. So it's somewhere in between Zach and Nolan is where I fit. And I'll like give them both advice, and they both ignore me most of the time. And sometimes
they're hearing you. They're definitely hearing you.
But you know, we have mutual respect, and we usually have fun, like, you know, chatting with one another. We have our little inside jokes, and like, actually, it's really funny because I probably have it's probably about the same inside jokes where we'll look at each other. I'll either look at Nolan or I'll look at Zach, and we know what the other one is thinking. It's so funny. So it's been a nice gift.
A gift.
A gift.
See, I told you Nolan showing up was a Valentine's Day gift.
Trace says no, they get help from others when they pump. What do you mean?
Oh, the breast milk. they'll get help. Oh, so somebody else can feed the baby if they pump out the thing, and then they can
Well, yeah,
go and play
I
pickleball.
understand that, but like I know some women, like I personally know a few women who will not breastfeed their baby at all. They will pump their breast milk and give the milk to their baby in a bottle. Which,
By the way, have you ever seen a close-up video of that? I like, yeah, like
so let me just explain the
I
difference.
don't know where I saw that, but
if
I
I
saw
want
it
to
recently.
breastfeed a baby, I mean, obviously the fact that I just go, and that's it. It's out, right? Put it in the baby's mouth.
Don't you have to wash it?
Takes
like put like some sort of
chemical on your
sanitation.
nipple.
Yeah.
No. And you can put lanouche or coconut oil if your
Lanouche.
nipples are cracked or whatever. Keep them moist. Just want to be moist.
Sounds like a problem they have in the Yukon.
Not being moist.
They get it cracked and chapped.
Sure. So, or you have to do the bottles, so you have to like sterilize them and heat it.
You
and
do. Yeah, you boil them up, and
it has to be a
and
glass
then you gotta
bottle. You
heat
can't have
'em.
fucking
Yeah.
BPA. You have to sterilize the nipples.
Yeah. Up until a certain point.
You have to have a certain
you don't
kind
have,
of water.
Then the kid. Yeah.
Unless you have the breast milk.
Yeah.
That's bonkers.
Uh-huh.
Zach says, ignore you because I'm stupid for 3 years that I will listen.
I have
Go to
I have no idea what that
CrossFit.
means. I ignore you because I'm stupid
Yes.
for 3 years that I will listen. I don't know. That's not even a sentence.
First of all, he's dyslexic and he's probably driving and trying to type.
Listen, Will, that I'm going to read it backwards, see if
He's
that makes any
saying-
sense.
I know what he means. He's talking about how he was stupid for 3 years and then he will listen.
And then he started.
So I have been on him for 3 years also to go to CrossFit.
Yeah.
And he told me that he could do it in another 2 years because he has to wait
Okay.
5 years. this
Because
time.
we went to the church after about 3 years.
Yes, and
Yeah,
now he
okay, all
loves it, and he has a beautiful church family. And I don't think that they would know what to do without him, or he would do without them.
Well, it doesn't. Apparently, the same math doesn't work for me because I told him to shut the hell up 6 years ago, and he still hasn't shut the hell up.
He's a very nice friend. Ignore you because your advice is stupid for 3 years. Then I will eventually listen. I knew what you meant.
You guys,
You didn't have to double explain yourself.
Language.
Although there's like a little. When I
There's a
pull your comment up, there's like a little emoji. It
Yeah,
says
that's up at the end of that.
What is OBJ?
That's Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr.
I was thinking it was old blowjob. That's what you give Doug.
What?
An old blowjob. You're an old guy.
From the 30s?
Well, like if you have to like get down on your hands and knees to like lift the balls up with your tongue, like
Balls are fine. The balls
do
on
your balls hang low? Do
Don't
they
hang
wobble
low.
to and fro? Can you
Oh.
tie him in a knot? Can you tie him in a bow? Can you throw him over your shoulder like a condom?
No, I cannot. No.
Prove it. Show America. If you want to know, just watch the Gauchos video.
The Gauchos.
If you haven't seen the Gauchos
don't watch the
video,
Gaucho
oh
video.
my God, you can see
Don't
everything.
watch the Gaucho video. She makes me wear
Everything.
silken pants.
I have them
What do
on
you
right
expect?
now. I don't have a bulge in the front of my pants.
Well, it's a good
I do
problem to
actually.
have.
My fupa.
It's a good problem to have.
My fupa hangs in the front. Is there anybody out there that finds a fupa sexy? Can you make me feel good about my fupa, please? Thank you. Because I have that C-section scar, so it hangs over it. It's gross. Thank you. Not in a good way. Have you noticed that there's fat girls that like look good fat? Like,
yeah, it's funny.
Like there's people that just get bigger. They don't get like a gut.
yeah, right.
Like they still have like the hourglass.
Yeah.
They're just thicker. Why can't I be like that? No, I look like one of those cats that's had like 40 litters and its skin just hangs there and it's just barely clawing its way through every day. It just doesn't care.
Dragging along the ground.
Just run the fucking thing over with your car.
It's terrible. You don't run a cat over the car. This little Valentine's thing I saw today that was pretty funny from the Buffalo Bills Mafia. Because for those of you who don't know, O.J. Simpson played for the Buffalo Bills. And he's like, I can't acquit you, which I thought was kind of funny. So Tracy says, fupas are natural. Own that jiggle. That's what I'm doing.
Ew. I don't want to. I've been watching Nip Talk, and I have a whole list of plastic surgeries that I want.
Yeah, but you're going to do stuff you don't even need. You're like, I'm going to do.
Tell me the things I don't need.
You don't need any of it.
Okay, I will tell you the list of surgeries that I would like to have, and y'all can play along with me. You can name your own ones, and we'll tell you if you need them or not. But we might need a picture of you if we don't know what you look like. Okay, I would like to have a tiny eyebrow lift. My brows grow like straight across naturally, so I just want like just a little bit. Just also with the nose, just bless you.
Okay.
Just a little bit, but like maybe just like a mini facelift could do it.
Maybe they just like put they get like glue you. They don't even have to cut you. They
Maybe.
just glue you.
I want my teeth all done, like a whole like new set of implants or some shit like that. I would
look like that guy on Love After Long with the giant teeth.
No, they're gonna be beautiful custom teeth. I want my fat from in my belly put in my lips into more in my titties and lift these. I would like maybe some sculpting of my butt just to smooth everything, like a little cool sculpt. Maybe a massive tummy tuck. I would like them to suck out 100 pounds and inject fat into my tits, and I think that's everything. Oh, I would like something done to my cankles. I don't know if they can do anything with my cankles, but
oh, it sounds painful. That sounds painful. Maybe. I don't know if they can do this, but my shins are like just straight bone. Like, can they like give me a layer of? Like,
I want your legs so bad. If you had my ass on your legs, you would look like Madonna.
Look like I have a diaper. That's craziness.
No, because you're skinny and you have no butt, and I have enough ass for like 3 or 4 people.
She got up.
Ask Captain Bob. He was picking up what I was.
He was enjoying
your. He wanted me to be his first mate.
Voluptuous. I gotta be your first mate.
Yeah, if you can't form a sentence, I think that maybe this conversation is not needing to happen. I like that purple guitar.
That is pretty nice. It's $9.99. Look at that. That's beautiful.
$899.99.
Oh, $899. That's very nice.
For $899.
It's center block, a junior amethyst Gretsch.
$38 a month.
With what, a Vino or what, a firm
24.
A pink one's good too. The pink acoustic.
That's silly.
Yeah, I like that.
I want to learn to play the drums. Badly. All right. So did we get to any of these?
We have not gotten
into
any of these
news stories particularly time sensitive.
I looked at a couple of them. I only looked at the first couple. This could be good.
I think this is apropos to the
Let's
Valentine.
Bring that up. We'll read it together.
All.
Normally I proofread these before, and I know a little bit about
this
what's
could
happening.
Be porn for all we know.
Yeah, we don't know, so bear with us.
Which is funny because we got a ding from Instagram one day because they thought we posted porn.
We did not. 6 years ago, Massachusetts couple matched by the first computer dating program. Wow, they kind of even look alike.
How many years ago?
They both like red. 60 years ago. So that's
no way.
Yeah.
What?
64,
How
5,
do you get
whatever that is.
Matched
64?
by a computer dating program 60 years ago.
Well, the computer, look at that's the computer with the big tapes, the blinking lights, the big cooling tower. Look at that. I remember even in the 70s they had computer dating, and it's like they had some
bonkers.
Weird algorithms do it before they realized that you just put an ad up and people swipe at it.
The couple took part in the first computer-based dating program nearly 60 years ago. Operations Match was a social experiment created by students at Harvard, Boston. Its survey was distributed to colleges all over the country beginning in 1965. This is a nice Valentine's Day story for everybody. This was something brand new that was started in college, Gladys said. I was at Brooklyn College in New York, and Alex was at Columbia. This took us all by storm. It's funny because those are schools in New York, and Harvard is in Cambridge, right outside of Boston. You can in fact park your car in the Harvard yard.
I've actually done that before.
You're gonna have to circle a few times before you can get a spot. Yeah, everybody has. Oh well, people have gone to Cambridge. I've taken the train. That's bullshit. We wanted dates. He said the boys were looking for dates and ladies were looking for mates.
Yeah, we're looking for 60s.
So they
people
used
could be my
a
parents.
computer. Nearly 8,000 people filled out the first version of the survey and made it back to Cambridge along with a $3 fee. In the following,
that's a lot of money back then.
$21,000. That's significant. TARP pitched Operation Match to schools across the country, and 100,000 young people responded.
It's like Facebook in the 60s.
There's a lot of stuff that happened at the college level. And like, I would encourage, I know that like when you're a college student, you want to like hang out with your friends and like, play video games in your dorm or watch movies or go for a bone ride or whatever the fuck you're doing.
Bone ride?
Yes, it's when you go in your car and you smoke weed.
Oh,
and you should not do that while you're driving. Keep your smoke private, you idiots. But what was I saying? Oh, they like entrepreneurs that start in college. How many of them? Like, I think we've seen so every entrepreneur that starts in college seems to do well. Like the younger you start as an entrepreneur, the better you seem to do. You're just able to pick it up faster. I don't think you have as much of an ego. I think you've got more energy for it.
Less overhead.
I think that entrepreneurship should be I think that there should be certain basic life skills that are required for graduating, and it should be survival skills, basic life skills like taxes and personal finances, and how to pick a partner. That's one. But entrepreneurship. I think they should all have to do an entrepreneurship project.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that.
And by the way, a nonprofit project. A nonprofit.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
So that they can understand both the nonprofit world and the corporate world. So he was he created the Students for Friends. They wanted dates. Why is it repeating the same thing? They asked about how attractive they are, etc. Participants answered questions about their religious background, where they lived, interests, and more controversial topics at the time, like their sexual attitudes. Responses were sorted through an IBM 1401 computer the size of a room. What would a computer cost back then?
Oh, lots of money.
We gave you 6 people their name and phone numbers and where they went to school and where they lived. And then we got on the phone. It was a lot of fun. So we gave you 6 people and their name and phone numbers. Oh, so each person got 6 people for $3. $3
for $3?
Yeah,
I mean, that's $2 a piece. But no, that's
what the original questions were. One girl on the 6 of the names and numbers he received, he called me, Gladys said. The Reismans got engaged in 1967, 1 year after their first date. They went on to have 3 children and now enjoy spending time with their grandchildren. The couple recently retired after deciding to close their popular Brockton jewelry store, Rom Diamonds. Brockton, not far from Boston, but also not necessarily someplace that you want to live. But it's a good place to score drugs. Not that I have never scored drugs in Brockton. I just happen to know that people go to Brockton to score drugs. Operation Match eventually faded. It was a fad. They didn't have any pictures. It's not like now. But
so they basically just gave you phone numbers and said, have at it.
Yeah, kind of. But out of the program, at least a few marriages and families. Allison Reisman has said advice for those irked by the incompatibility. Just keep swinging the bat, he said, and eventually you'll hit it out of the stadium.
Aww.
What a wonderful Valentine's Day story.
That's terrific.
That's like uplifting. And, these people have a long-standing marriage and they were matched by a computer like us. So
we were not matched by a computer. We found each other via the computer, but we were not really matched.
Well,
we matched ourselves.
You had criteria. Like it wasn't
just
I had criteria and you had criteria. And those
I don't remember what my criteria was.
I don't know. You probably had like an age parameter.
Yeah.
You probably had like a race parameter.
A race parameter.
I didn't have a race parameter. But like when I was dating, But I know that like I was genuinely afraid of big dicks. It was a big concern for me. And I maybe avoided them because I was afraid of them. And it's
Maybe you
pretty
were
racist of me.
well, you were like
Afraid of big
one. Yeah, you were. Yeah,
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I just am. It's
On
just
behalf
part of who I am.
Well,
So we had other stories.
but you're
Anything-
well. No, it doesn't. You're not a racist because you're also afraid of giant white dicks.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
I just assumed that if
Right, but the assuming part is where you
I
get
go
into
with the
dicey
old
trouble.
racist strategy. But by the way, we read a survey of the biggest dicks in the world, and I'm telling you, they don't look like this guy in those countries. Congo, #1 in the world. Average 9 inches. 9. That's average. 9. That's too much. Too buku. Okay. So that was we used that today. So today is the 14th.
Yeah. Oh, this story is actually not bad. I read that story.
Well, it's 9:30.
It's 9:30. I'll just read it real quick because I was very confused by the story.
Well, if you can read it real quick,
I'm not going to have to read it. I'm just going to tell people what happened.
Okay.
If we pull it up, a radio station in Alabama, I think it was Alabama. Somebody stole their tower.
Do you think they fenced it?
And it's gone. It is gone. Like, I don't know if the thing's made of copper or something or whatever, but the first thing I thought of is like, ooh, that's interesting.
I'd say that's a senior prank, but it's a little early in the year.
Well, like I'm thinking that like, well, who stole it and what are they going to do with it? Right. Are they going to like start beaming like, communist propaganda? Like, I was just worried about what they were going to do.
Maybe it was the aliens from that mall in Miami.
Yeah, it could have been. You don't know. But when I was little, well, I wasn't. Well, I must have been fairly little. I was probably 8, 9, 10 years old. There was a radio tower down the street from my house in the woods, and there was a little building attached to it. Whatever. Well, what are you doing?
I'm asking you to scooch.
So, anyways, so one, we'd go down, we'd play in the field, and tower's always there, right? You just don't even really think about it. And you used to go down there because there were puddles and there were pollywogs and stuff. We'd go get pollywogs or whatever. So the tower was always there. Well, some shenanigans happened one night. Some guy cut one of the support wires for the tower, and the tower collapsed. Tower wasn't there anymore. It fell into the woods. A station went off the air, and I think they might have put up a weather balloon or something like to kind of get the wire back up or whatever. But my friend's dad, who lived two doors up, my friend's dad went down and got probably about a 10-foot piece of the tower, which was a triangular with like slat, kind of cross beams on it. He put it in their little play area, and as a climbing jungle gym. And so we used to go over there and climb a little tower and stuff. It was fun. It was good. So something good came out of a tower. So I don't know what happened with these guys. The tower's gone. 200-foot tower. It can't, like, what the hell? They cut the guy wires to the tower.
They stole every piece of equipment out of the building, cut the guy wires to the tower, and somehow
they took it away. Like, you would have to have like a team of people. Like, this is like Mission Impossible kind of stuff. And then they're going to reassemble it. Like, what the hell are they going to do with it?
Okay, so who do we think these people are? We're a small market station, but we're going to get back in the air as fast as we possibly can. Currently, there are no suspects in the theft, but Elmore told Inside Radio that he doesn't see some guy off the streets doing this and added it looks like a professional hit.
See what I'm saying?
Anyone who has information, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so these are the people that would do this. People like off-grid extremists.
Yeah.
Terrorists. Dun, dun, dun.
I just came up with what they're going to do.
Mexicans.
No, you can't say that.
I'm kidding.
Actually, what I was thinking is they take.
But seriously, but as much as I was totally kidding when I said that, there are people that would say that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, they would. I'm thinking it was that caravan of people that are supposed to go down to the border, and nothing happened. But like they're going to steal that. It's 200 feet. They could like fashion it into a fence.
Big protests in DC. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I think it was yesterday, maybe. Big protests in DC about the war in the war in the Ukraine. They want sorry, not the war in the Ukraine. Israeli-Palestine conflict. They want that out of there. And I don't want there to be any conflict in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want like conflict. Like we can all have a rational conversation and resolve our conflict. It doesn't need to come to fisticuffs. If you and I can do that, you and I can do that, then why the fuck can't the goddamn fucking governments of our goddamn countries put some level of rational thought into their fucking brains?
There was also a celebration today.
What was that?
In Kansas City, there was a parade for the world champion Chiefs. After the Chiefs were, they were still on stage. And gunfire broke out. One person died. 10 people were shot.
No way.
Yeah, at the celebration.
That's a terrible joke I was going to make.
Don't make any jokes about that. But I did.
No,
Wes actually told me about it. He goes, it didn't make the thing. He goes, I just found out about it. And
well, that's a good story.
And I told him, I said, we didn't really want to focus on crime.
No, but something like that's a pretty big deal. I mean, like
we could all send out some positive vibes to.
Well, yeah, let's send out some positive vibes, and let's look at this kind of thing. Like, why the fuck would somebody do that? Like they've got to be deeply, deeply disturbed.
Well, I don't know if it was a lone gunman situation or if it was like a gang of teens that and gunfire broke out, whatever. But yeah, no, right, you're right. I mean, it's who does that?
Why are we doing that? Yeah. Side note, I live in Florida. It's the fuck around and find out state. Like, do not pull shit down here. Like, road rage turns into gunfire on a semi-regular basis. Like, what, once every 3 months?
I don't know if it's pretty common. Yeah,
once
it's more common than up north. Yeah,
because everybody has.
But all right, so here's the thing. I don't get road rage. Like, I don't understand road rage.
You don't get road rage, but you're usually
on with it.
You're usually in the passenger seat.
Well, maybe that's why. But when I'm driving, I'm like, I've seen people yell and scream, "The lady, what are you doing?" Like, what is that going to do for anybody? It's not going to. The lady's not going to hear it.
I am either super, super calm, or I am like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" But I'm never like angry. I'm just like, no, seriously, like that's how we're going to drive.
Yeah, you get philosophical about it.
The guy, the Porsche at the light.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have said it. I'm like, just like whatever.
I didn't say anything. I just went.
Yeah, but that's how you said something. That's the American tagline. Oh, actually, one of our stories last night that we didn't get to, Marlee Matlin was all mad at the Super Bowl because they didn't.
A lot of people were mad about that.
Yeah, the sign language.
And I learned something interesting recently about. Excuse me while I scratch my armpits. I learned something really interesting. There's no direct interpretation of the English language.
Right. Yes, you did. I did.
It's not. So it's not like Doug, take this bell and shove it up your ass. Like that's not how that works. They're not like Doug or it would be you. I don't know what ass is. Let's look up sign language for ass.
It's probably this right here. Look, it looks like a butt. Tracy says she says, "Oh, I talk out loud to cars all the time. Can we just do the speed limit, please?" So my thing is, I think when people drive slow, it bothers me more than people like driving erratically or whatever, because it's my job to avoid them, whatever. But there's this great line in The Odd Couple. They went to a play, and the guy in front of them was Mel, and he kept turning around, like interrupting the play. So Oscar looks at this guy and goes, "You're gonna turn around, Mel? What are you gonna do?" I probably call everybody in traffic Mel, because like you're gonna go, Mel. What are you gonna do? So, anyways, that's my traffic thing. I turned it into a positive. Mel. You actually asked me one day. You're like, "Who's Mel?"
I think I have probably. Yeah. And I'm also too high to really pay attention to anything right now. We should probably be wrapping up. But I will say that I forgot what I was going to say. But I do want to learn. I would like to learn ASL, and I think this is asshole. And there's other things that you can learn, and I would like to have, I would love to have a sign language interpreter on the podcast. That would be so cool, like an ASL interpreter.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. But my thing, what you were saying was that sign language isn't just an interpretation of the English language, right? It's an interpretation of what you mean, right?
Yeah.
But it's not tied to English language, but it would kind of have to be, right?
What?
Never mind. My whole thing was that it wasn't like you're not just turning English into like language, like hand language.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different.
It's really, it's like a whole culture.
Yeah.
A lot of people within the deaf community are opposed to cochlear implants.
Mm.
It's a whole new world.
You know what? I'm going to ace my theory. Cochlear implant deaf people are the rhino of deaf people.
They would probably say that.
So,
I don't understand all this
not deaf
infighting
enough.
against minority groups. Like,
Yeah.
you don't see old white men hating each other.
Oh,
They don't love each other.
I hate
They're
Billy Joel.
sucking each other's dicks in the woods while they're looking at the superb owl.
Superb owl.
So we're selling our guest room for anybody who wants to come watch the Santa Barbara Boulevard 500.
It's craziness. I couldn't imagine what it's like living on that road. With like,
We are too
lights
close to
everywhere.
the road now. I was driving around a little bit today. I hate where we live. I hate this neighborhood.
Mm.
I mean, like, people are nice
it's
enough.
like once we're in the house, it's fantastic.
People are nice enough, but it's just like,
and we're close to stuff.
junky, and I just like put just 2 blocks back. I would be so happy.
Yeah.
I don't need canal front, but you know what? I don't want to be this close to other houses. I want to be like my parents' house. My parents' house. So my dad and my stepmom, like, they lived on a street that was a dirt road. It got paved like recently. It's not cool. Like, I'm very upset that road was paved. As a matter of fact, when I found out that road was paved, I was like, first thing I did was call Dave. You're not gonna fucking believe this.
After all
like,
this
what?
time.
They paved my parents' street because Dave would drive his car down that street, wipe it with a diaper, the whole thing.
The Fairmont?
No, this was he got a I think it was a Mercury or a Thunderbird.
Something.
It was red or like maroon. And so we drove it down the road to my house, and he would wipe it at my house when he got there. And then when we would drive back up the road, he would wipe it again. And then there was, oh my God, the other street to my house. I was talking to the guy in the bar about this today, by the way, because he knew Berkeley.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so you could get going. I think it's Bayside, but I'm not really sure. So there's a hill, and you could catch air every fucking time. But the road ends.
Like, so you have to be careful.
It's like landing, honestly, it's like landing on an aircraft carrier. It really is. And here's the thing. It's like landing on an aircraft carrier, and like the house that's directly in front of it, it's like this beautiful house. This architecture built it, and it's gorgeous. It's got these 2 buildings. It's probably the most beautiful house in Berkeley. And that's saying a lot because there's some beautiful historic homes there. What was I gonna say?
The road
I wish we had bought a house in Berkeley.
I
really wanted to buy. I wanted to live in Berkeley. So the road. So you have to stop.
Yeah.
And before you go launching into this guy's yard. Oh. And so at some point he put a chain up. Oh. So I think he might have taken a Subaru to the
Goobaroo.
I don't even know what that means.
The Goobaroo is.
Incidentally, I saw this like hot, big, black, muscular dude at the beach today, and I was like, I went south of the beach trail, and I was.
Did you do the look away, look back, smile?
I did the bend and snap. It was bend and snap. Let me just tell you, there's the bend and snap, and there's what I do when I'm on the beach, rolling around like a fucking beach whale. Like, I can't get comfortable because I didn't bring a chair. I'm just sitting on a blanket in the sand and just couldn't get comfortable, tossing and turning, trying to nap, trying to not go on my phone, trying to respect the.
Were there any manatees?
I didn't see any manatees. I will tell you this: my lips are so dry right now. I want to cry. Oh, we have to stop. It's 9:44.
Let's
happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's
Sorry
Day to
if you had a bad
everybody.
day.
Spread the love.
I would love to talk to you and support you if I can, but I'm very high, so I might not be awake very long.
She's saying that's sad about your chapped lips.
Tracy says, well, that's crazy. They do kind of look alike.
Yeah, they did look alike.
Tracy said that's sad.
She said it about the Kansas City fans, but I'm also saying it about your chapped lips.
Yeah, that is also sad. But not really on the same level.
No.
I just want to be clear.
No, to be clear.
You're far more concerned about my chapped lips.
That one goes down with the Mexican What story?
I like Mexicans. Okay. Okay.
Did you just say I like Mexican food?
No, like Mexicans. I said Mexicans. Mexicans have big dicks.
Well, that's what
I'm
it
also
said.
afraid of Mexicans.
Oh,
Just the big dicks.
And I don't know if we didn't know you were here. I don't know. I don't know if you ever checked
in the first place. Did
I
you?
don't know if she did, but
I do not see any check-ins.
We figured she's
Well,
here.
we love you. Have a good night. Sleep tight.
Yeah.
I hope your honey
Happy
did something
Valentine's Day.
sweet for you. Tracy says, "Oh, I talk out loud to cars all the time. Can we just do the speed limit, please?" That is not acceptable. Actually, there was a fucking snowbird on the road between Ding Darling and the water.
Oh yeah.
The road that's like 8 miles long where the freaking the school is and everything. He was going 20. Speed limit's 30. I'm like,
yeah, that's
I finally fucking passed him.
Any tortoises out there today?
I did not see any tortoises, but I didn't want to see any tortoises today. I was mad at the tortoises. But then I decided,
you know why?
To get to
they were shellfish.
A cake anyway. And the construction workers were very nice, but I would like them to keep their big Mexican dicks away from me, please.
I would appreciate
it's all
that
big dicks. It doesn't matter what color it is. If you have a big dick, stay away from me. I'm gonna get a t-shirt that says that.
I'm gonna get a shirt that says
that would be
mine is just
dude,
right.
You have to write that down. If you have a big dick, stay away from me. What was the one earlier in the podcast? Work on yourself.
Okay.
Those are two. I'm telling you, they would go viral. Okay, so did you get it?
I'm writing them down now. Okay.
Work on yourself. And what was the second one?
Keep your big dick away from me.
Yes, that will make people leave you alone.
Well, if they have a big dick, they'll stay away from me.
But that's funny. I could sell those to lesbians.
I had two. There were two funny things this week. I came up with I was trying to come up with a new saying, and I just came up with it. It means nothing. This is a pot pie of political information. It's like, what's a pot pie of something? I don't know. And the other was mush mouth nonsense. Stay away from me with your mush mouth nonsense.
I want a pot pie. That sounds really good.
Like Swanson.
I'm too high to continue the podcast. Plus, it's 9:48. You guys need to go sleep.
I'm gonna go eat my cake.
Go to sleep. You stop the screen time. But we like to wrap up with gratitude. So if y'all want to tell us what you're grateful for, we would love to hear it. And I would like to tell you first and foremost that I am thankful for all the amazing people that support the podcast night after night after night. Cheryl Penkowski, our friend from Bills. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Tracy, our OG lesbian, Derek Meyer.
Derek.
How do we know Derek again?
Derek is my friend from Walpole, who we helped his friend with the Lyme disease up in Tampa or Sarasota. Yeah.
Keithy Channing, who owns the Alpatha Corner in New Bedford. Go check it out. What a great little shop. Todd, we'd love Todd. If you need an engine fixed on the South Shore, give the guy a freaking break. All right. He's backed up about a month. He works so hard and he's just such an amazing person. Pretty much like the best dad.
And he drives a Volvo.
Drives a Volvo and is willing to take me on as a wife.
As a reclamation project.
I don't know if he was like drinking that night or what, but he did. He is willing to take me on as a.
Here's the thing. There's a problem.
He said done.
It's an inherent problem with that. Technically, he's a cyclist. You do not like cyclists. That'd be like me.
Yeah, but he's not that kind of cyclist.
Oh, that kind of.
Here's my only problem. Here's my problem with this. Okay. This is a big problem.
There we go.
I need to have sex with someone if I'm going to be married to them.
Yeah. And you don't want to have sex with him because he's like your brother.
He's kind of like my brother. And I think it would be like, am I having sex with my brother? And I have a brother who
you do have a brother.
I have a brother that was given up for adoption. So whenever I meet someone.
But I'm pretty sure he's not your brother because I saw his mom. He looks exactly the same.
I have to tell you, anytime I meet a man who's around my age.
You instantly think that.
Who is.
Could be forbidden.
But this is how like my brain works. Too much with like the crazy family and maybe too much television. Who knows? I've been watching Nip Tuck a lot. It could go anywhere.
Messed up.
Okay, the first place my mind goes if I meet a guy that I find to be even remotely attractive. How old are you? Are you adopted? I have to ask because you're gonna be
younger than you.
attracted to your brother.
Right. Well,
is like they say that because
right,
we're
because
watching
you have some connection. You've
we
in
were
some weird way.
watching Nip Tuck, and this is there was a
Yeah.
whole thing where the sister and the brother were attracted to each other, and when you don't grow up with one another, you
those
don't
hormones
get
don't
those
kick in
weird
or
like,
whatever.
oh, you're my sister, that's gross, because you don't see each other develop. Whereas when you're adults, when you've been raised separately, you don't get repelled from one another, which is why teenagers rebel, is so that they can separate from their family and you don't have inbreeding.
Well, there is the old famous phrase, any port in a storm.
I don't even know what to say about that. Thank you, Luma Llama, Daniel, of course, Mary Marvelous, Zach, Trace, and Nolan. Daniel, we got Daniel, right?
Had a lot
Trace?
to say tonight. Todd was here.
Everybody was here. So thank you so much, you guys. Todd, the other Todd. We really appreciate you guys. I'm thankful that my Jeep is fixed. Thank you to Tony. I am thankful for the chocolates that Doug got me. I am thankful for my beautiful day on Sanibel. I'm thankful for all the beautiful birds that I didn't really see because there were too many people and people give me the creeps. But that's okay because I got to go to Sanibel. I'm thankful for my AirPods because I was able to talk to my friend for 3.5 hours. I am thankful that even though the causeways are closed, there is still a way to park on the side of the road and go to the beach.
Right.
I think they're trying to stop us, though. They're like putting these really bulky, uncomfortable rocks. I think it's to keep people from driving on the sand over there, because I like to drive on the sand over there.
A lot of people go over there. They go fishing. They do like a little water sporting with their there's
all kinds of people fishing and stuff.
Yeah. Must be good fishing over there. There's always people fishing there.
I guess so. So when I first got there was like 4 of us, and then I was the last one there. But I was the first one to get there. I mean, so I was the last one to get there, and I was the last one to leave. But anyway, I had to go put lip balm on. So wait, gratitude. Do some gratitude.
I'm gratitude that my talent helped me immensely today. I was able to figure out some stuff and get some stuff done that was under an unreasonable deadline, and I was not handling it well. Then also thankful for that grateful for that egg and cheese and spinach and steak quesadilla I made for breakfast. Today's was.
Did you have that for lunch or for breakfast?
I had for breakfast. I had a late breakfast. I ate it.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was very, very good. Tell them how you made it. More spices.
Shaved steak, salt, pepper, little onion powder, little garlic powder, pimento cheese in the eggs, then some actual shredded cheddar on the tortilla thing, spinach, mix it all up, boom, boom, boom.
What did you cook the steak in?
Pan.
Salt, pepper?
Salt, a lot of salt,
butter,
a lot of pepper. I don't think I put any butter in with the I put butter on the
I told you to do butter and rosemary.
I didn't have any rosemary. I don't think we have any rosemary. Rosemary's the little sprigs, right?
God, do we not have?
We don't have rosemary. We have sage, and we have parsley.
That's weird. We should have rosemary. I don't have it in me to go look, but yes, it was delightful.
Anyways, yeah. So that was good, and I was thankful for a relatively easy dinner tonight. Trader Joe's. Yay. Thank you. I'm grateful for Trader Joe's. I like Trader Joe's.
Diced up. You sliced up red peppers and onions,
fajita
cauliflower
vegetables.
rice.
Yeah, and you throw the fajita vegetables right in the air fryer, and they get like they're perfect. I throw them in a little olive oil or avocado oil at this point, and season them and throw them in there, and they get all kinds of toasty goodness. And the cauliflower was microwave, and then the enchiladas I did on the stove, and then I put them in the oven to melt, and I threw some cheese on them, some red sauce. It was good. It was good. And I have leftovers for lunch tomorrow.
I want to learn how to make avocado oil. I bet we could.
How to make avocado oil?
Well, because you can grow avocados down here, and
right? But
shitload.
I would think that you need to have some sort of weird press. I think doesn't it come out of the seed?
Yeah, like a press.
Yeah.
Why would it be a weird press?
I don't know. It seems like you would need like some. Like it's not like an orange juicer. You don't squeeze it. You know, you need like some.
Fuck! What do we call that?
An avocado seed.
$79.99.
Look at that. It's Squeeze Master. It's a Squeeze Master.
Well, so here's the thing.
For you single people
I'm
out there.
still holding on to this like fantasy that we're gonna live in an RV and travel. It's delusional. I know.
Look at this.
One of us would have to die for that.
The
to
Squeeze
happen.
Master cheese tincture herb fruit.
And you can make your own, and you just.
I don't know how much oil you're
but
getting out
think
of
about it. Okay,
of
hear
a
me
single
out.
seed.
Hear me out. Okay, you've got your sourdough. That's like going, and then you got to have one that's already made because you're you get the sour. Once you start with the sourdough, you can't stop. You can keep feeding it and taking it, and you feed it, and you make
it's like a beast.
Maybe you have a SCOBY. You have a SCOBY in a closet.
What's a SCOBY?
It's like it's like the tea-ish stuff, and it has a SCOBY on the top, and it's fermented tea.
Oh. Okay.
And you can get a SCOBY from people. As a matter of fact, I knew somebody who got a package in the mail. They opened it, didn't think anything of it, and they didn't know what the fuck it was. We used Google Lens to find out it was a SCOBY, which is actually, I should pull this up.
Is that like a mother, like when you're making kombucha or whatever?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. But when they come,
ooh, looks like a mistake.
Oh my God. Oh, it's still sharing my screen. I did not know that. Okay. So, yeah, so basically it's like it looks like that in a bag with fluid. Like it's just like a fluid filled bag with
it's like a tumor.
It was so weird, and he was totally freaked out. He was like, "What the fuck is this?" And so he talked to his neighbor about it and stuff, and I think he like took it out and played with it or whatever. I got to tell you, if I had a penis, I would have made the love to the SCOBY. I feel like that might be a nice feeling. If I bought you a SCOBY, would you make the love to it and tell me how that is?
No, because you would film it and put it on the internet.
We gotta
SCOBY.
I have big plans for our commune/cults. Douglas. All right. So I'm thankful that no one has ever said my pussy looks or smells like a SCOBY. Are you thankful for anything else?
I'm thankful that it does not smell like a SCOBY.
I'm thankful for all the single people on Valentine's Day.
Oh, the single lady.
And all the people whose significant others disappointed them on Valentine's Day. And all of the people who had a wonderful Valentine's Day. We just love everybody. And we want everyone to be friends.
And everybody that's in between.
And we want everybody to be happy.
So we'll see you hopefully tomorrow.
Should be
Thursday night. We might have some adventures tomorrow.
We have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Wish us luck.